Hi, I'm attorney John Shan. Since 1993, I've represented thousands of injured workers and car accident victims throughout Massachusetts. Once you finish treatment, and typically in my experience, if you're somebody that has not suffered a fracture because of a car accident, you haven't had to have any surgeries, you've just suffered sprain, strain, muscular injuries that have been treated with physical therapy, either with a therapist or a chiropractor. In my experience, typically, you're going to be in active medical treatment for anywhere between 3 and sometimes up to 5 months. Naturally, there are exceptions. There are cases where you might be in treatment longer or for less time. But for however long you're in active treatment, we have to wait for you to finish your treatment before we can consider settling your case. Once you finish with your medical treatment, then what we'll do as your lawyer is we gather up all of the remaining medical records and bills, and we put them together. All of the evidence showing how the accident happened and whose fault it was, photographs of the accident, the police report, if there are witness statements showing that it was the other driver's fault, and we send that to the insurance company for the at-fault driver. Then they review it, and then we start negotiating. Typically, the insurance company will make a lower offer than what their final offer will be, an offer that we would not recommend to you and you would not consider accepting. But then once there's been some give and take, a series of offers, it depends on the adjuster. Sometimes it might be 1, 2, or 3. Sometimes it might go longer. But once we reach the point when they tell us that this is the final offer, there's no more, either take this or go to court. At that point, we'll sit down with you and go over the offer. We'll explain to you what you would receive net out of the offer. The attorney's fee, it's a contingent fee in Massachusetts, is 1/3. That's what we charge, 1/3, and that's pretty much the norm among car accident personal injury lawyers. We would also be reimbursed for any out-of-pocket legal expenses that we incurred handling your case, such as getting your medical records or paying a doctor to review your case and to prepare a report for us. If there are any liens, money that's owed to either your health insurance company for medical benefits, medical bills that they paid related to the car accident, or Medicaid, which in Massachusetts is Mass Health, or Medicare, or there could be a short-term or long-term disability carrier that paid you benefits. If you're out of work and receive those types of benefits, they would be entitled to be reimbursed. So we would review with you what the offer is, the fee, the expenses, any liens, and what your net is, so that there'd be absolutely no surprises. You'd know what you're going to get, and then we discuss your options. What the prospect is of getting more money in court if we filed a lawsuit. And lots of times, even if we file a lawsuit, doesn't mean that we can't continue to negotiate. And but we'll also explain to you that if there isn't a successful negotiation and we went to court, what are the chances of you prevailing? What are the chances of you doing better? Keeping in mind that there are additional expenses associated with filing the lawsuit. Depending on the case, the number of witnesses, it could be $1,000, $2,000, and multiple thousands of dollars in legal expenses. That all comes out of any judgment that we would get or any settlement if we were able to settle it after we filed suit. Plus the time you'd have to wait. You could have to wait up to 3 or sometimes 4 years to get a trial date, a firm trial date. You might have a trial date and then at the last minute the court reschedules it. So at least with the settlement, it's something that you control, something that you know you're going to guarantee a certain net amount out of the settlement that's been offered. If you'd like to discuss your particular case with me, if you've been injured in a car accident, feel free to text or call me at the number below. And if you'd like to see our future videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.